this number going to change at some point?
Is like,
Are they going to pick up
I was
a point?
watching over things going in their favor, and you can kind of see on the mini-map, like, watch, this is the
he gets it. Oh, sorry. Classic. I was like, please use the camo. Please use the camo. He doesn't. I thought, what a clutch from Rise Nation. And those are the kind of losses that tilt you. Especially, okay, so think about this. These are two teams.
You have a rough beat SWC,
Exactly.
you come home, your first match.
Two teams that struggle mightily.
You
You come back, you're like, all right, let's get back into the league. Of course, you play the team that also was in the same boat from you coming back, and you lose like that. Oh God, I'd hate to hear the team comms on Faze right now. I bet there was blame game going all over with that squad after that, because for that comeback basically went from bunker on to the second. So it was basically, what, about 2 hard points that it kind of fell apart. I mean, that's a solid 2 to 3 minutes where it's just everything fell apart for Faze, man. Nuts.
I feel like it's something they're kind of prone to. Like, if they just start, like, just kind of flooding in one by one, like, it works when they're winning the gunfights, but when they don't, I mean, you see it kind of spiral out of control right there. At the end, when Rice has that middle hard point locked down, like, and they're just winning those individual gunfights, where on with Slack, you don't see anyone near the hill. Like, everybody just is like, it's like a ghost. Like, nobody wants to go near the hill. And I think I saw somebody on Twitter or somebody say something to the effect like, oh, like, that's the issue with Faze. Like, nobody wants to get near the hill. But I
just a little bit too worried about slang.
Maybe.
That reminds me of, what was that? Yeah. That Prophecy team with Aches and Octane back in Advanced Warfare.
Aches, Octane, Apathy, and Aqua.
They'd have 3 players double positive. They'd lose hard points because they were so focused on slaying out around the hard point. Someone has to be in the hard point to actually pick up time. But we'll see here. We're getting closer and closer to game 2 as we're looking at another gym of a series here.
It also kind of works against you in the way that when you're like that, and then somebody is like, yo, we need to get in the hill, immediately everybody starts to just run at the hill. And then you don't have anything. So that it's just a little bit of a confusing scenario there for Faze. But we can jump into the Ban and Protect for game number 2. High caliber, rapid, overkill, and camo. First things off the board.
All right, well, let's see how they decide to mix things up, because you have, Attach on one side that can really be filthy with the sniper. Octane, we know, can get it done as well. So you've got 2 just really world-class snipers on either side. I guess the reason I might consider, before that game 1, the reason I might give the edge to Faze a little bit is just because I think Rise is a better respawn team than Faze, but Faze, I think, is a better search team with those 2 searches.
Yep.
So I think Faze should be able to take this game 2. I think this is where they're going to have the edge in the series. But after that game 1...
And look, they're veteran players. They should be able to bounce back from that game.
If Clayster does one thing, man, it's bounce back. He came back, what was that, Season 3 finals last year, where they
statement, come back, win a big S&D against a team like Rise, like, put yourself back in this series, because eventually, the stuff that happened a year ago, trying to rally everybody together, and even when you bring up that stuff, like, if I'm like, let's say we're teaming, whatever, and I'm like, hey man, remember that match like against Hoth? You're just like probably in your head like that was so long ago. Like what's between now and then? Like,
it feels like forever ago, but it's been a rough road on land for Faze to kick things off this year. That's for you new viewers. We know there's a lot of you out there, especially with the Black Ops 3 PS4 live event viewer. We love you guys. Thank you for getting invested in Call of Duty esports. If you're not familiar with Search and Destroy, we've put together a bit of a clip here. Let's take a look at S&D 101. Search and Destroy is an elimination-based game in Call of Duty Black Ops 3. In this round-based mode, the teams are divided into either attacking or defending. The attacking team's objective is to either eliminate all of the opposing players or to detonate one of 2 bomb sites. The defending team's goal is to either eliminate all of the opposing players while defusing any armed bombs or stay alive within the entire 1-minute 30-second time limit. After each round, the teams switch roles and their objective changes. Players only get 1 life per round in this best of 11 game mode with no respawns. First team to successfully complete their task wins the round and scores a point. Score streaks carry over and build between rounds. The first to 6 round wins takes the game. This strategic multiplayer mode forces you to make each kill count and to choose all of your movements wisely. right, well, we're just about ready to hop into the Game 2 S&D. For some reason, you're just tuning into this series, 250 to 249. Rise comes back and wins Game 1, and what was...
Silly.
I want to say the best game of the night, but after
It's like
the
we were
series
just talking
prior,
during S&D 101 was up, and we're like, oh, every game tonight has been like either like the craziest game ever, or it's been like a blowout, like it's hit or miss. So these games have just been absurd.
It has been insane. We'll see if the insanity continues through the rest of this series, but we are ready to hop into Game 2. S&D Infection. Take it away, Jack and John.
I got to speak to my doctor, drank some water. I took a breather. I think I'm okay.
You may even have the same doctor?
Yes, that was... I screamed for about 45 seconds straight there. I was out of breath. I'm still shaking a little bit from that first game. That was nuts. That was actually too much.
Hopefully that's a good tell for what's to come in the series.
No, please don't make it that close. I genuinely couldn't handle that. I tweeted that I chugged a Red Bull prior to the series starting, and now, like, I'm on edge, especially after that game. I'm ready for anything to happen. We are about to go into Game 2, though. Faze versus Rise Nation. After Faze gave away a 70-second lead in the final 3 hills of the game, off the start, it's going to be Attach, who's got his SVG with Thermal, and actually an extended mag RK5, so he'll have 7 bursts to work with that secondary pistol. And look at the confidence to just charge right to top rock right away, and oh god, almost rips the head off the player on Rise.
EMP checks up close, doesn't find anything. Zuma with first blood. Attach does repeat, but coming around the flank real quick, it might be Looney. I'll keep him highlighted on the mini-map, but first blood already made as Octane fell. Let's see if Rise could rebound here.
I'm going to tell you right now, that's a strategy I'm going to start to steal from Attach. Bring that one EMP up towards top island. Use that as an EMP check while your teammates buy time to push down B Street. Once you know you're fully safe, you can begin to peek towards that back street area. Love that. Slack now going on the full flank. He should be easily be able to get one. Tries to put shots in the second. You know Attach wanted to spin around and hit a snipe on him there. Do Faze decide to push on through? It appears that's what they're going to do with about 35 seconds left in the round.
Yeah, you see somebody on the flank just commit to one direction. It looks like will be that rotation back, as you're saying, maybe attacking over towards that A bomb site, but Rise are slowly moving around the map.
And this goes back to what we speak about so much on Infection, watching the crosses. Looney has been playing B stairs this whole time. Now he's rotating to A. This looks like it has all the signs of it being a Rise Nation round win, especially with this beautiful spot Looney is playing. With only 12 seconds left, the bomb still needs to be planted. This round should definitely be a win for Rise Nation. Nice stuff from Looney. 5 seconds left. Faze gets shut down in round number 1.
Yeah, great read from Rise right there. I mean, sure, they get first blooded, so right away they're down 4v3, but, you know, they play it together. They work for the trades, and then they win the final engagements here. Faze, they just didn't give themselves enough time to work with at the end. As they went for the bomb plant, there's, what, like 10 seconds remaining? At that point in time, really, Rise only needed 1 kill, and that was on the bomb planter.
Yeah.
And then just run away from there.
And that was a great little spot that Looney was playing because he knew he was completely safe from the one side. They had the information of them crossing in towards that barn area, so it made perfect sense to play from such kind of a open position from middle map and B site. Hero those spawn nades we always talk so much about, but hey, Rise Nation are smart. They've got 2 trophies set up to block them.
Yeah, trophy's so important here on the offensive side of things for Infection, but now Rise are going to slow peek the street. They're going to be met by some Faze players. Octane finds one, Classic finds the second, but they're immediately traded out. Just like that, it's all up to Octane, a 1v2, makes it a 1v1 as he takes down Zuma. Attach versus Octane, and Attach looks like he did put the sniper rifle away. He had that out.
Just one thing to point out, only has 3 bursts left. Did Octane see him? It doesn't matter. Attach makes it look easy. Beautiful stuff to tie that one 1-1. I will point out, Zuma won that round for Faze Clan. I believe he was either one that peeked out of B or was the one playing for Big Rock and just baited himself so perfectly for either attaching the 2 kills, or he was one that peeked out from B and picked up the 2-piece to give the number advantage over to Faze Clan, give Attach that opportunity to clutch up for his team. Faze tied up 1-1 in Game 2.
One thing I didn't see from Rise is they had nobody playing on their rock to challenge the Big Rock on the other side near the B stairs.
Or to challenge B site well.
Yeah.
The guy who flooded out of B. I mean, it's very tough to hit shots when the player basically has full cover up to his head when he peeks out from that sandbags area. Octane evens the numbers back out. As I say that, Clayster gets a 2nd kill of the round. Attach going to make it a 3 versus 1. Slack last alive.
Yeah, and he's got an SMG, VMP, not the weapon you want to be challenging in these gunfights. He does spot one in the back rock, and he's like, well,
he's dead.
There's no chance he could win that with a VMP. Easy kill for Attach as Faze take the lead.
Yeah, I think Faze won that once they had Attach run an AR as well. I really like the 4 AR setup on this map, especially when you're playing so passively towards B Street. You can see Clayster was in charge of watching the flank. Then you had both Attach and Zuma watching over B Street. It really all just made perfect sense. FaZe Clan now up 2-1, bouncing back after a shaky round 1.
All right, so Rise, they've been working on their search and destroy as of late. I thought they played their S&Ds okay at ESWC, but definitely some room for improvement over on this game mode. And if they're able to iron out their S&D, they're going to be even a scarier team to play against.
Yeah, I definitely hear you on that one. No surprise there. It's a game mode they struggled with again this past weekend. Classic does strike first blood. Do they predict the player to be just below him on the street?
Yeah, they see them.
Classic. Okay, there we go. Thank you. It scared me for a second. I thought I didn't see him. Slack makes one player one shot in B. Does he decide to chase it? It doesn't appear so yet, as they should just plant this bomb here momentarily. They know both players are going in the flank, and what a nade. What a prediction nade right there by the Rise Nation player sitting in the back of the street. And now 3v2, bomb down. Expect this to be an easy Rise Nation round win.
Well, FaZe back up. They're going to reposition and try to fight for middle map.
I like this close play with the VMP. I love this decision.
Sees him. Good peek. But he gets called out of position. Attach the last one alive in a 1v3. Yeah. Spots a couple of them, but there's one player near middle map there on the flank ready to shake him out.
I love that decision because, as you could see, the player who was laying down with the sub had zero intentions of getting up and chasing that kill. He just laid there while Classic peeked from the front middle tank of Church, got the easy kill. Because he kept that close corner laying down, it forced the player on stairs who was challenging, it was Enable, to expose too much of his body. Obviously, Classic punishes him. Rise Nation close out that round. Now FaZe back on offense. We'll see how they play it. I believe it's still, again, going to be a 4AR setup. Oh, no.
Zuma's got a VMP.
Zuma swaps the VMP.
Looks like he's going to stay with it. Close to that overdrive. Trophy system's laid down. They're going to try to find first blood here, but they do. And Attach gets traded out.
See, Slack just needs to stay hidden right now. Yes, good. He's challenging from low, right? So there, yes, he does get traded. There is still a player on the lower rock. Enable inching on up. They predict where Looney's at. Psychosis is now pop, but this should be an easy round win for FaZe. They just need to pinch the player on rock. There it is.
And just like that, they both fired on Octane. Good team shot from FaZe. They isolate him at the big rock. They take him out. And once again, FaZe take the lead.
So the player who was in B site pushed up to that close rock, and Zuma read him like a book. He read the play like a book, and that's where it really all collapsed, because top rock, the battle was won by, I believe it was Attach. Slack did what he could that round, getting the 2 kills that his team got, but in the end, FaZe take back the advantage, and now Attach has brought out the SVG with them.
Yeah, overdrive will get popped by Zuma right here. I want to see if Attach will find anything early on, but I'm going to keep Zuma highlighted. If he's going to find any action, I'm going to switch back over to Zuma, so he goes right into that B bomb site. Does get EMP'd after, so they know he's around this area, but he gets first blood regardless. Rise trying to work the trade, but 2 are already dead. Octane and Classic both falling. Finally, they respond by taking down Enable. Yeah,
they should get a call that, hey, they're crossing right now.
EMP checked, I think.
Zuma sees him. Attach here with the SVG. SVG, does he go for the high peak on the site? No. Instead, nearly rips the chest off the first player. There's that high peak I was talking about over the 2 buildings. Attach will have to fall on back. FaZe all playing from the Church side. No pinch as of yet from Zuma. Are they worried where the second player could be? Gets that first kill. They're easily able to just pinch on the they're easily able to pinch on the Looney. That made the difference right there.
It made it a little interesting.
For like a half a second, yes. Attach just flying all around. We'll get this defuse.
They're just trying to build as much meter as possible.
Yeah, he's just 150 off that HC.
So they will give it to Attach. If Zuma would have gotten that defuse, maybe he would have been like
That's why you go and search for trophies, right?
Yeah. Let Attach get that work towards that kinetic armor. Closer to that HCXD as well. FaZe looking pretty good here on Infection, but they were looking pretty good throughout the majority of that hard point.
They most certainly were. Here's a look at the final kill from Attach. As he mentioned, Looney made it close here momentarily. Attach got caught sprinting as Looney slides into the corner. Still think FaZe would have closed out that round, though. As
he was one shot. Zuma probably just would have went for the wall bang.
Yeah, it's FaZe up 4-2. Now on defense, what do you think Rise Nation do to try to bring themselves back into this game?
Well, they know that Zuma has a HCXD, so I won't be surprised to see them all switch to flak jacket, but it looks like 3 players not going to do that on the side of Rise. So it could get pretty scary. The H60 can definitely open things up here.
Oh, definitely. Zuma hasn't called it in as of yet, but he's in a position to very, very soon. Rise Nation call in an HC of their own. Just slowly inching up towards Broken. Should see at least one player in the back hallway, but it's easily taken out. Not much information gained.
And Zuma calls his in.
By the boys of Rise Nation. Now it's an HC out of Faze Clan. They know it's near middle statue. That nade comes in. Going to force it to push up a little bit. Still haven't floated up as of yet. Look at how much information this is getting for Faze right now.
Great driving from Zuma. He's going to find first blood as he takes down Looney.
How does that even happen?
And now Psychosis gets popped. They're going to be attacking the A-bomb site. Clayster falls by the hands of Slacked. It's going to be Zumi here trying to find the trade kill. Does spot one over near back barn. But Faze are just going to rotate this back and attack B.
Can you quickly tell me if Zuma has Afterburner on? Or on the A site. Zuma playing from this front tank. You get a lot of information for his team, especially on who's crossing. I think Classic's on. Classic should get this easy kill. That might be the game changer in this round. He knows there's a sniper there as well. Classic played that one absolutely perfectly. You saw it. Picks a player off tank. The sniper shot comes in. He goes, well, you got a sniper?
Yeah,
okay, guess what? Hit your shot.
Attachment is that first shot. It takes time for him to get ready to fire off the second bullet. Yep. Classic slide. Stop. Push. And it's again. Zuma the one taking from B gets first blood for Faze. What is happening? Attach. Try this. Wow. So both kinetics get burned here. In the middle of the map just yet.
Hey, but this spot could be very, very useful.
Yeah.
There's a call out that there's someone front tank. Reason like a book Faze Clan prime to take this game 6-3.
Alright, so now he has 60 to work with. Or B by the looks of it.
Enable. She wrote no blast suppressor as well. He's got to do it all from the ground.
Able to close out this game 6-3 after a heartbreaking hardpoint loss. They tied the series up 1-1.
If I'm Faze, that's exactly what I needed to do in this series, right?
Yeah.
I at least bring it back and give us a chance to get back to the respawn game modes, make up for that rough loss in game 1. Uplink, which will be Uplink on evac. I do not know where to predict this series to go from here. It's definitely anybody's game. We'll see who steps up big. For now, though, let's send it back over to Maven and Matt.
Not incredibly shocked by the outcome there. Thought Faze was a superior S&D team. clutch up and close it out, tie up the series 1-1. So, like you said, they're a good team. They're a good.
Rise. Few rounds, they probably could have won. Enable and Clay, 4 and 3 kills respectively, but I know too much. And he's a big difference maker.
Well, solid stuff from Faze. We'll take a look at just the sniper, able to take out the planter as well. But still, I mean, what I kind of expected from the S&D. The question is still, can this Faze team hang with Rise and respawns? And I know they can, but I do think Rise is the superior team in most of them. Would you take them in
going
every
into
respawn?
going into uplink? I would take Rise.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
Well, we were talking about how good. Who did Rise lose to? I guess it's 2 weeks ago since we had the week off. But I know I was really expecting them to win. They lost the uplink, and I was blown away.
If it was week 1, then it was Optic.
Or was it DT? Did they play DT 2 weeks ago? I could be making that up. Luminosity.
Luminosity.
Thank you, Revan. Appreciate it. But yeah, I expected them
great memory.
I expected them to just steamroll Luminosity in uplink, and they end up dropping that. So I feel like I've been so hung up on Rise being a strong uplink team.
They were the best uplink team in stage 1.
They were.
Them and Optic 1 and 2, but you can definitely make the case Rise as strong, if not the strongest. Well, you expect them to beat a team like Faze in uplink, but I think Faze obviously. You know, it's not like they're slouches in the game mode.
When I say I think Rise is a superior uplink team, we're talking like centimeters. Like I don't think there's some giant gap between these two teams. I just think Rise, has kind of proved throughout the recent lands and online that they can really perform very, very well in those game modes. But
this is probably their strongest game mode overall, I think, Rise.
Yeah,
I think this and Hardpoint probably their 2 strongest.
All right, well, right into the Band of Protect. The Man of War coming off first. Overdrive not going to make it into many CTFs or uplinks. Both your tacticals coming out here.
It's pretty fast. You'll expect rapid fire to come off the board here soon. Camo going to go, so you expect one of these last 2 to be rapid, and then what, overclock? I mean, then you're done.
Yeah, right? So you don't really have, Camo was such a huge part in the uplink, the first one of the night and the second, really. Uplink was just a monumental kind of catalyst of picking up a lot of scores for either team. By taking that off the board and Overdrive per usual, you don't have an ability that really kind of guarantees a score. Sure, Kinetic, you can pick up some big kills in the base, maybe assist the guy, but not usually going to be a go-to for punching through a dunk as much as
what Camo does is it allows you to make an individual play for a score. Something that Kinetic doesn't do. You can still cut down that player with Kinetic. You can hit him with enough shots to take him out before he goes in for a score. But a Camo allows you, when you don't have that teammate support, to get into the other team's base.
See how they decide to break this down. You do see Scythe coming out for Octane. Just abilities so far. Clacer should be, Clacer going Tempest.
Classic could go Tempest or Annihilator.
Yeah, I mean, with having Camo off the board, you already have Heatwave and Kinetic. I would think
he's going to run the Scythe.
I would prefer to have a weapon in that
I would much rather, I would much rather have the other weapon than the Psychosis going into this one.
All right, now we do want to hear from you guys on Twitter. Use the hashtag CWLPS4. The question is, with this current Faze roster, can they win a major event? I mean, the answer so far this year has been no. Sure, the second half of AW, they were incredible, but so far, the difference this year, let's say you're looking at a bracket. For the most part last year, it was basically them beating everyone to get to Optic. That was kind of the story, right? Now we're kind of you have that third team now in Rise, which we didn't really have last year for the most part. So
and because they're usually the 2 and the 3,
you're going to have to go through Rise to get
to beat Rise eventually.
And I don't want to say they had an easy path. Don't get me wrong, but there wasn't that. And now I feel like we kind of have 3 really, really, really good teams.
Well,
I don't know that we had that last year as much.
Who was your number 3 team? I mean,
it was kind of both over the place.
Probably Denial. The one that was what? It was Slasher, Hook,
Replays?
Temp, and Classic.
Classic, the final team. Are we talking Worlds?
Yeah,
yes,
Worlds.
Yes,
that was probably your...
Yeah, they performed pretty well at Worlds.
Few months, whatnot, that was probably the best team that they had to go through.
Yeah, so this is probably, I mean, at least in recent memory,
Didn't Denial beat them at Worlds?
Yeah, because it was Denial Optic final, wasn't it? Yeah. So that, I just feel like that, and that wasn't consistent really. It was Faze. It was 1-2.
It's Faze and Optic 1-2.
Whoever was the third team throughout most of the year. This is at least in the past couple titles, we have really, really strong three teams. So I think that's made it a lot harder for Faze. So it's not like, hey, guys, we just have to cruise through lesser competition to get to Optic. They've got to battle Rise a lot. It's a great matchup we'll see here.
It's also made having that #1 seed so important because out of those, top three kind of like juggernauts, like whoever's not that #1 seed, those other two are going to have to battle it out even for a spot to get there.
Well, even look at what our quarterfinals were all really, kind of close, really, when you were talking about Stage 1 final, but then the semis were both kind of blowouts, right? You had Rise handling business. Faze just couldn't really hang with them, and they're going to have to go through that if they're not going to maintain that #1 seed. But right now, you got a good opportunity for both these teams to, just with the recent struggles from Optic, at least to start the season, you got a good opportunity here. Let's see if either of these teams can take control, but let's toss over, ready to hop into map 3. It's going to be UPLINK. Courage and Revan, take it away.
The action continues here between FaZe Clan and Rise Nation. Evac UPLINK going to be map number 3. As I mentioned earlier, no clue how to predict this series. Revan, in your gut though, in that wonderful Revan John Boble gut, what do you predict?
Can you, never do that again?
I'm sorry, man.
And 2, I'm going to go with the Rise for this UPLINK.
I just want a connection between us, man. Everyone calls Matt and Maven the duo. I want to be the better duo. And I think that's the first step.
We know the game, so...
Oh, that's true. You're right. You're right. I completely forgot. Yeah, we have all the game knowledge. That's true. Looney, beautiful ledge boost off the start, going to get his momentum going as he begins to push right towards that UPLINK drone spawn.
Nice.
Wonderful Semtex. That's why we see those grenades banned so heavily, especially in weeks prior. For moments just like that, it hits the ground, blows up almost instantly, and now Zuma's going, wait, what? They're already behind me. 3 players charging forward. This should be a dunk in the first 25 seconds for Rise.
And Ake picks up the kill after that. He takes down Attach. Somehow he stayed alive.
He's a magician.
Can he maintain control of top AC? This is going to be huge for Rise.
That was such beautiful movement to get right back towards top green. Now Rise are in control of the drone. Not sure why he peeked with the VMP right there. Didn't have that ICR for range. That shot's going to definitely fall short. And yep, picked right up right away by FaZe. And now it's time for FaZe Clan to go on the offense.
Oh no, is Clayster going to go for the wall run?
Oh jeez.
It's going to happen.
There's never a good ending right here. This never has a good ending. That's a miss. Tries to follow it up. Still alive and no. Well, at least he didn't die to fall damage.
Yeah, almost got that 1 point toss in.
Looney now with the drone. No, I give Clayster, I joke about it with Clayster all the time.
I'm sure he's been working on it, but it just so happens every time we're casting him,
yeah,
for some reason he falls off the map.
He had a couple moments at ESWC that people were giving him some hate for, but the guy's a legend, right? You really can't hate on him. Obviously, at times, everyone falls off. We've seen it for everybody. Apparently, Looney doesn't know how to, though, as he's on the most ridiculous wall run. He'll go for the 1 as well. What? Bye. I'm taking my headset off. Goodbye.
What?
Goodbye.
How do you get that kill?
You're a solo caster. I'm not here.
All right, Octane with the ICR finds one top AC, connects with the kill on the Clayster. It's going to be Classic trying to maintain control of this back tree. Has a good line of sight onto that neutral drone. He does find Enable.
All right, I'm back. I thought for a second I was going to quit, but then I realized that I wouldn't have enough money to pay my rent this month, so I need to stay here and keep doing my job as Looney continues to push up with the submachine gun. He'll just play his life yet again. Rise doing a fantastic job so far this game of just staying alive. You saw Octane earlier on where he just forced opponents to rotate all the way back there. Looney buys a couple extra seconds for his teammates to get in advantageous positions, and you can see how Rise is developing the play on the map. They trade efficiently, and where FaZe have a 42 number advantage going to glass, and you think they're going to easily win it, Rise Nation come out on top. They've got the drone, and they're primed to take another score.
Dunk.
This should definitely be a dunk to put them up 5-0. There it is.
All right, so FaZe, look at the decision they're making. They said one person to rotate back with the H6. He doesn't find a kill. The rest are overextending, and it's going to be Enable. Pushed way back all the way towards the Rise goal.
Slash just got terrible timing.
2 fall for Rise. Literally the last one up. He tosses the drone forward for yards. And Faze are going to be able to stabilize after that.
Yeah, here we finally go for FaZe Clan. This should be a point, unless Enable just gets absolutely dirtied right here with the AR. Slack playing up close, has a presence there. There goes the long-range one.
Nice.
Clayster scores at FaZe, back down by just 2 possessions.
Yeah, and because Enable already has such a forward position, fortunately his teammates were able to get the kill. He was able to give good amount of support. At least they're able to get that 1 point toss in. And right now they're just trying to weather the storm, right? If they could bring this to, within 1 point going into the half, that's going to be a successful side for FaZe.
I actually really love how Zuma played that peek towards helipad. He didn't play while sprinting. He just slowly peeked the corner. Classic, who was sprinting to check that back area, got shut down by him. Zuma playing in such an advantageous position gets another 1 point play in for his team as they were easily able to win a couple.
This is perfect for FaZe. Even though they have attached push up a little bit, they decide to wrap their drone. And the guys from Rise, they're going to follow the kill sign, right? So they're going to rotate over. If attach pushes forward, he can fight behind everybody.
He needs to go right now, though. He needs to go now. He's still playing it so passively. Clayster with the drone, goes for the one.
Nice.
Hits the shot. 3 straight ones now for FaZe. Octane falls off the map.
Right.
The HC doesn't kill anybody. And look where Clayster's still alive at.
Attach, trying to keep this play going. I was thinking he may have popped kinetic armor there, but Slack will pick up the drone. Sure, Clay was able to stay alive with some forward position. He rotated over, but drone control now in favor of Rise.
That's the best thing Rise could have done, is rotate the drone all the way towards this lower wall run. Obviously, Slack continuing to push right up with the objective. He's still alive. Now going back up the walls, trying to just stay on the edge of this map. He's got no help from his team as they wound up losing their engagements. He's going to go for the craziest one of all time. No!
Almost trickled in there.
I think it would have, but I think Attach, because it was going so slowly, just timed his jump, picked it off right away. He's continuing to move up. A little bit of an awkward mantle there. Thankfully, Clayster's there to help out.
Has to reset his armor.
They still have time for a 1 point play, though.
He's going to get melted on this wall run, though.
No, but he's got Clayster there with the Tempest. That lightning will change.
Oh, no! TV! Oh! He pulls up the bat!
Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, no!
Why is it always with us?
Oh, no! Clayster shoots his teammate in the back with the Tempest and falls off the map. I swear at this point he's just doing it to troll us.
It's really becoming a worldwide meme at this point.
What? Oh, well, FaZe, they had an opportunity to go for at least a one.
Yeah, they're only down by 2 points.
Yes.
I still think that's a pretty good side from FaZe. Sure, it could have been more. You had that one missed 1 pointer from Clayster. You had a potential 1 pointer from Attach at the end there. If he doesn't get team killed, could potentially be a tied game. Maybe FaZe in the lead by 1, but still a good side from them.
Oh, most certainly. Okay. Attach, they get control of green. They find the last one as well. This is easily going to be a dunk for FaZe.
He's going to double stack the armor. Goes for the slide. He pushes it away. He drops the jump. He doesn't get the point in. Rise. They rotate back. They get control of their base. Now they have control.
Gotten away! Oh my God! Classic gets away, and he's going to be able to flood right towards middle map.
Is he going to be able to put pressure onto the neutral drone? All car in hand, checks the corner, finds a kill after as he picks up Attach, deploys his Psychosis. We'll spot one on the wall run in the back there, I believe. Yes, he goes up to challenge, but there's a player right around the corner. Looks like that will be a scythe brought out by Octane now.
Octane inching up. He's got a teammate to his left. Did he not see the person down low? Finally there. He does clean up Clayster. Easily traded back out. Looney with the drone. Tries to set up a one. Not going to happen as Enable is sitting in the back with an AR. Classic, last one alive for Rise, trying to somehow make a play happen, but once that drone is picked up, he's got the extra armor as well. He fully expected to clear out their base. They do just that. Now it's FaZe back on the offensive.
And they have Zuma preemptively trying to push out the lane. Clayster gets caught in the side. It's all to Enable here. He's going to be defending near the back helipad. His teammates should be getting some good spawns here, but I think it might be a little too late. Rise are going to get the dunk. They're going to go back up by 3 points.
Yeah, FaZe knew they couldn't stop that. They immediately began the rotation towards the bottom green area, towards glass side of the map. The drone continuing to be surged forward. Classic alive. Octane alive. Here comes another dunk. Oh, heat wave. Heat wave. Not going to get the kill in time.
Yeah, not enough as FaZe. I mean, that was a perfect break from them, right? They get all 4 down off the start. They get a dunk. We thought they...
Slack just launches his HC off the map. Thankfully, he is still alive, so he's able to stop Zuma from pressuring. Goes to the second challenge near water. Doing his best to stay alive. Rise up by 3 possessions with their largest lead of the game.
Yeah, I lost my train of thought there as Slack just a bit of a mishap there with the HCXD. The 1-point toss comes in from attach, but gets picked off. He falls off the map. Rise looking really good. They're going to rotate this along the long side of the map, hitting the wall run. He has a lead blocker.
I kind of want to see Looney get in front of Slack right here prior to this run. There's someone flanking them. See, yeah, there is someone flanking. Oh my God, Clayster was flanking and fell off the map. He was the one on the little wall run right behind them. This is going to be a dunk as...
Yeah, they're waiting time.
He's going to wait it out, let his teammates rotate over. There's the dunk. Rise Nation taking full control of the second half.
But Faze, they have some forward position to work with. They're trying to get this pass up to the front. It looks like they toss it a little bit, but here comes Slack from behind. He finishes the kill to enable, gets the second onto attach. He knows there's one more around the area. Oh, he knows that Zuma's around here.
He's bloodthirsty right now. He wants to find the third. He's not even caring about the drone. He knows the shadow somewhere around here. There's another. The final one challenges from middle map. Rise Nation with full peace of mind on where the opponents are. Octane just outstrafes Enable to pick up 3. Octane now 19 and 15. Rise are going to rotate this one all the way around Kitchen, and all signs are pointing towards a 3-0, or sorry, a 2-1 Rise Nation lead going into Game 4.
I mean, sure, Rise probably could have pushed forward, but at this point, they don't really care about points. They just want to waste time off the clock. This is shaping up to be another dunk, especially because Zuma's way out of the map. They get the dunk, but they don't buy time. So this is going to allow Faze a chance to set up.
It is, but with this large of a lead with just a minute remaining, I really don't think it's possible. There goes the Tempest. Attach, yes, he's pushed this far up. Should make it 14-7, but look at the map positioning from Rise Nation. They've got full bottom glass control. You've got Octane with the AR cutting players who are rotating off. Faze Clan going to go down 2-1 in this series as Rise Nation is outclassed them on the second half of UPLINK.
Yeah, they get another dunk there coming in from Looney. 16-7 as Rise, they still have a chance to score some more. Classic continuing to do damage over near the tree platform. Has the VMP in his back pocket, has to reload his M8, he's only got a burst.
Oh.
Swaps to the VMP, Slack to the drone, starting to push forward. And now Classic's fully streaked out. Sure, only 10 seconds remaining, but they're trying to get as many points as possible.
I feel like this is the stat line of Looney in every single UPLINK game I watch from Rise. Like, he's never the one to be positive by a lot. He's never the one to be dropping huge slang numbers or having a ton of engagements. Instead, he's just always the one with either the scrappy throws, maybe the big dunk that gives Rise Nation a lead. For the most part, there was a Slack show, finishing over positive 10, Looney in your final kill cam. Rise Nation make it look easy, especially inside 2. They did a much better job of getting kills around the objective, which I think is the big thing we saw throughout that entire second half. Faze Clan just couldn't get it done. Beautiful heat wave earlier on to stop that dunk from attach as well. That's really rare, where it began to spiral out of control. I believe at that point it was 5-5.
Yeah.
And then at the end of that game, 18-7. Rise Nation outscoring Faze in the final 4 minutes of that game, 13-2.
Yeah, and we all thought Faze were going to rally in scores after that. They had the perfect setup going off the break, all 4 down for Rise, but that beautiful heat wave to stop it.
Well, that's all she wrote for game number 3. Up next is going to be CTF, but prior to that, our thoughts from the analysts.
Well, I mean, so far, the series is kind of what you would think. I mean, it was kind of a coin flip for Hardpoint for me. It ends up being really close. Yeah. Faze handles business and S&D. Rise, maybe their best game mode. They take care of it.
Not really shocking. I mean, the first Hardpoint obviously crazy down to the line, down to finish.
The finish itself was nuts, yeah.
But like the actual results of the games, like no, not too surprising. I think the CTF probably the closest.
Well, this UPLINK. It's funny because we talked about it a little bit earlier. If you guys weren't watching maybe one of the early matchups, we talked about how it used to be kind of when you're pushing towards AC, that was the side you really locked down and got the rally going. That's actually one of the best halves of UPLINK I've seen from a team when pushing towards helipad. I mean, how many dunks did they actually get through on that side? 3 or 4?
I think 3.
Yeah, which is, I mean, pretty rare, especially when you don't have camo. A lot of the dunks we see when you're going towards that side usually involve camo in some capacity because it's not as easy to set up that chain, but they did one hell of a job. Completely took control on that second side. You can see they definitely had the advantage in the slaying department as well as basically everyone positive, and they touched on the fact that Looney, I mean, he does the dirty work. You see the carries, the throws. He gets it done for his squad, but we'll take a look at some of the highlights from this one. As, yeah, a tight game early, 5-5. Until Rise decides to explode.
Well, that's why you see how strong of an UPLINK team this Rise Nation squad is, because they're so explosive. I mean, at any like I feel like they're never gonna get blown out of an uplink. Like it's always like a close game, whatnot. And usually they're the team that kind of kicks it into another gear and pushes through. They're able to win it, and it's exactly what they did in this one against Faze.
Yeah, and I don't even know when we move towards the CTF. I guess that's kind of the hard point was when I say coin flip, I just mean like I see either team winning it. CTF, I kind of feel the same. 2 and 3 was really easy to pick for me. If it goes to a 5, I think I'm still going to go with Faze just because I see them being the better S&D team. But I don't want to say it's a must-win for Rise, even though it kind of feels that way since I think Faze would win a Game 5. But this CTF, when you're looking at Fringe, I'm just trying to think of real standout performances from these guys, but I know...
We've seen Faze have good games on this one in the past.
Looney and Attach from either side I've seen have ridiculous performances in this particular game mode and map.
And I actually think Game 5 is actually not too bad for Rise. So you've seen them have good games on Breach Search and Destroy. So I don't know if this is exactly a must.
Yeah, it's never a must-win when you're that well-balanced. I think I give Faze the edge in that Game 5, so you want to close it out here if you can.
Yeah, I guess in an S&D you would give Faze the edge, but I just don't think it holds that much importance. I think in the Fringe CTF, I think we've seen Faze have really strong performances in the past. I think if you are Rise, really got to get into their face. You got to, because if Attach starts getting in your base and causing chaos, and Clay can get near there with the assault rifle, start picking players off, it can get dangerous.
And then you've got Zuma constantly on the overextension, always looking to get those flag pulls out and just be a nuisance. Yeah, it's when you kind of get that setup, like you said, if you're pushing towards Barn, you basically have Attach being a nuisance in Barn, you have Zuma pushing the overextension, and it's just tough to deal with, especially in gunfights versus those two, even for a team like Rise. But let's get right into the Ban Protect here for Game 4. We'll see if Rise Nation is able to close this one out. We'll see if there's anything, I guess, surprising from the Ban Protect here. Nothing shocking too much thus far.
I mean, Camo, first ability to go. Usually we see it's Overdrive, but I mean, not too surprising. I fully expect Overdrive to go as well. Concussion's going to go from Classic, so there goes Overdrive. Now you expect what? Flash, High Caliber, Rapid to be your next 3. There's the Flash. So that's High Caliber, Rapid, and
maybe probably HC or Shiva would probably be the two. One of the two that I think would probably come off of this as well. But
could you see something like a Kinetic, possibly? I mean, I don't know if it's that important in a CTF.
Yeah, I mean, it is just because, I mean, if you're a player, I just think it works out, it balances a bit just because you have 2 players that are really strong with it on either side that can make big plays. But I think I give the edge to Faze just because Attach can absolutely, I mean, one big play with Kinetic completely allows you to maybe layer the map or leads to a cap or leads to streaks. It can certainly be a big difference maker.
Well, there's your Rapid Fire. It's going to go off the board. The Hands of Slack, just waiting on Unable to cast his vote here in Ban Protect, and it's going to be an HC. So I don't even think the HC is that big of a deal in CTF. I think it's just more to get it out of the way.
I mean, it can be just because a lot of the runs end up going through tracks a lot of the time, and that's one of the easier areas to maybe get a kill kind of with an HC, just because there's not a bunch of big open space. You can get
I'll say any streak that takes you out of your
when he was running away from the HC on tracks, it's just chasing him, and finally he can pick up the kill.
And if that player was chasing him and had an assault rifle and shot him in the back on tracks, that would have never happened.
To be fair, I think that HC probably should have killed him several times. I don't know how it didn't. We weren't on that
probably,
POV.
But if that guy was with a gun at the end of the track, he would have killed him. Instead, he's all the way in the middle of nowhere, sitting in his pad with his H6D.
All right, well,
doing anything.
Let's take a look. We asked you the question earlier, with this current Faze roster, can they win a major event? And we got some replies from you guys on Twitter. Let's take a look at some of them. Flat out, Alex Jimenez says,
damn.
Nope. He does not feel they can.
He's firing shots. That was like, wasn't even like a joke, like, oh, like they're one player away. It's like, nah, they can't win.
Yeah, just flat out, nah.
Nah.
Don't feel it. But I mean, I don't know that I fully agree with that. I guess it should. I don't.
I think this team has the talent.
Yes, I do. But I guess I could see his side. It's just the fact that you have really 2 tough teams in Optic and Rise, who have been kind of 1A, 1B right now, and they are definitely the 2 top teams for me.
Sometimes teams just need a little bit of a shake-up to like get their drive back. Get some energy back in the team. Like a new guy, just like it just gives everybody this like kind of new energy. You can't really explain it, but like you're playing with the same people for so long, you kind of get like this like routine, and it's like not as fun anymore. Like you want to get used to playing with somebody new. Everybody likes the energy when you bring somebody new into the team. I mean, that's the only reason you can say, like, because you're not going to really, like, you look at the other rosters, like, nobody's going to leave Optic, nobody's going to leave like Rise. So what other more talented player than the player you have now
Maybe
is going to
maybe
just
it's more of a
stumble
they need
on,
like
but-
a manager, a
but
coach
just
behind the scenes type
somebody,
of thing.
somebody like that can bring
Sure.
some new energy to the squad. But
Yeah.
I think if you're just looking at this roster talent-wise, I don't think you're finding a person that's going to come in here and outclass any of these guys.
All right, well, the game's ready to go. CTF, Fringe, Courage is bobbing around like a bobblehead over there. Guys, go ahead.
I'm excited. I'm ready. Revan and I'm trying to get Revan hyped, man. Look, Revan looks tired.
Listen, I'm hyped up enough that we're watching Faze versus Rise. Then I look over to my right, and I don't even know what the hell you're doing.
That's the best way to put it. I don't know either. All I know is we're going into Game 4. CTF on Fringe, just kind of looking through the classes here. Obviously, your typical weapons to start things off. Now, we mentioned, Zuma loving to flank. Who's going to be the ones to push through auto. This time around, it looks like both teams have a similar idea of waiting for pressure to come to the back auto side. Looney and Clayster are both there. Clayster peeking out of tin for a second. Looney gets taken down and dub, and actually Faze were in a great spot to try to pull this flag potentially.
And just like that, fall.
No, they'll rotate back.
Patch backs up. Just make their team worry about him. And Rise, they have to dedicate somebody to watch that back alley. Even though Patch, backed up, is no longer putting pressure near that side of the map. You still have to keep a conscious effort and make sure that side of the map is locked down.
Oh, definitely. Attach just your decision to get into either barn or grandma's and just play there no matter what happens, whether your team goes for a flag, whether your team is trying to hold defensively. Why is it always your goal to just stay in that advantageous spot?
Well, just like you saw Attach doing right there, you just want to stay alive and put yourself in a position to make a play happen, whether that play is, pulling the flag into cover or finding kills to slow down the push from the other team. You just want to be useful around the map and put yourself in a position to do so.
And hey, being inside the opposing team's base like Attaches right now is a great way to do that. Unfortunately, Classic reads it like a book. Clayster nearly has 2 free kills right there. His shot is on point, though. Psychosis gets popped. Classic does challenge him and take him down. Zuma there, though, to pull the flag. Enable gets taken down. They know the final player, Looney, is alive inside their base. They've got one player to take down. Is Attach there for the help.
What?
Attach.
They knew Looney was here.
They know Looney's around. Looney gets both. What was that engagement right there? How has this even happened? Enable now going for the flag. He's got 2 players to beat.
Oh.
Tries to get it in. Oh, no, they stop it. There's the return as well. That was the most awkward engagement ever.
I thought they were just going to run, maybe around cardboard or go through top grandmas. They knew Looney was around that area.
Yeah, and it looked like Attach played that so passively. He never pushed Globe, so Looney just waited for the player L-Wall. The player L-Wall gave him no attention. So instead of that being a pretty routine flag capture, Rise get to return it. Now they're going to go for a counter cap.
Enable forced to go on the overextension, but look at where Classic spawns and he has that M8 in his hands.
Oh,
this is perfect to lock that down.
The flag runner, I believe, has Heat Wave ready to go. They just have a wacky start to this game.
Yeah, it definitely should be 1-1. Maybe if Faze get that flag tap in, who knows what happens on the defensive side of things. But listen, you give Rise an opportunity to take the lead in the game, they pounce all over it.
Oh, definitely. And that's why they've gotten so good as a team, especially in the respawn game modes. Slack with the Man of War covering his flag. He'll pick up the second on Abel as well. Clayster still using that Shiva in middle map.
Oh, stay alive, Octane, yep.
Yeah, definitely predicted this from Octane to challenge from this top window. Looney helps him out there. Octane should fall.
That's a huge kill.
From Attach. And now he'll drop a smoke and run the flag right on out towards Barn. No, he waits it for a second, tries to juke out Classic. He's got players in back alley, wins the first engagement. Still a player, staying alive to your little room, pops kinetic armor. Beautiful route from Attach. He'll cap this flag and tie this game back up.
Yeah, great use of kinetic armor on the team. Attach makes that split-second decision to pop kinetic, gets away with the flag, ties the game.
ARs are just sitting and watching the very back of their spawn. Looney is the first pushed up for Rise, and he's just sitting in dub, and they know exactly where he is.
So Enable missed shots there with the Shiva, and he gets caught out of position, trying to push up. Classic towards track.
Cap.
It's going to be another cap for Faze.
I mean, look at how that play just developed. We literally spoke about this. Getting a player in the opposing team's base, Enable did that, forced very awkward positions from Rise Nation, and now Faze capitalized on it. He literally did exactly what we spoke on just earlier on.
Now Clayster working towards that dart, and this goes back to that HCXT ban. You know, I'm starting to think the dart is a little bit better than the HC in a game. You have a little bit more mobility with the dart, a little bit more kill potential.
Now, one thing I do want to point out, every single person on Rise Nation has their specialist ready. On the side of Faze, I believe you have Psychosis and Heatwave.
Okay.
Rise can definitely make a play happen at the start of the second half. I think if they can get like a number advantage off the start, like maybe get 3 dead on Faze off the break, they will have a great opportunity to score in the first 45 seconds. We'll see if they can get it done as we switch sides.
Yeah, just playing to win the break, especially in a game mode like CTF. Just being able to have the upper hand at the very start of a half could mean so much. And Octane sitting at 11-4. He's got the sight, still working with that Shiva. Let's see what Rise do off the start of the second half.
Well, Looney's going to try to get himself in a close spot with the Heat Wave. Octane picks up 1. Looney now going to continue to push towards his back alley. Kinetic Armor gets popped by Slack, and this is kind of what I was talking about. Looney surges forward. Unfortunately, Enable is there to cut him down. Psychosis jukes him out. Psychosis jukes out one player on Rise, and that's a perfect example of what the pro players were talking about earlier when it comes to Psychosis. That one little hesitation, that one little awkward engagement completely swings the momentum in Faze's favor, and now they've stopped the first push from Rise without giving them a cap.
And Slack also uses his kinetic armor in that push. You still have Heat Wave.
A stick.
You still have Sight. Looney catches Semtex right there. Slack is there to take the kill onto Enable, as now Rise are going to push forward once again.
What's really funny is Looney gets stuck, and he just runs right at the opponent, blows him up with him right there. As Rise Nation still down by 1. Classic alive, Slack alive. Classic needs to play his life right now.
This might be a good Psychosis.
He knows there's two players peeking. Looney gets 1. Slack is there as well. The final players inside barn. 1 just spawned up in back alley. This has everything written all over it for a flag capture for Rise Nation.
Wait.
Les Zuma can be a magician right here. Ledge boost. Has 1 player just in front of him. Gets the shots down with the VMP. Gets the second as well. He's going to try to follow this up with another turn. You've got a sight in the head of Octane. That's a return. Zuma with a heroic play, and he'll pull another flag. Final player spawns at Globe. But I think Rise Nation should have held off their base right here. Classic with 1 final player to beat. He's going to peek on out with Psychosis. I don't think he's been spotted as of yet. Smoke being used. There it is. Rise Nation, hold off. But Zuma keeps the score in favor of Faze.
What a play from Zuma right there. He had to hit that ledge slide out through a barn. Otherwise, that window of opportunity to get the return wouldn't have been there. Huge play for him to make. Keep Faze with the lead in this game, but Rise are setting up for another push. And also, they use a couple of specialists there. They use the Psychosis on the defensive side of things, as well as the Sight.
Unbelievable stuff with how close that really just was. Rise Nation have to be kicking themselves after that one. After they let themselves get clutched out by Zuma. Clayster watching this back window with the Tempest. He's just going to play as far back as possible. And this is where Faze get very, very good as a team in CTF. One thing they do very well, Revan, is play the final few minutes with exact knowledge of, how far they can push out. Like, for example, Clayster right here with the Tempest. You saw how he inched up from the back of the map. He got 1 kill. They clear out 1 little area. They get another kill. They push out more. They get a kill in rails. Now they 3-man stack it. And now they're all the way already into Rise Nation's base with just 2 minutes remaining. That just bought their team 45 more seconds.
Plus they used the Heat Wave from Looney.
Yep.
So great push from Faze, well orchestrated there. Even though Zuma's 10-17 right now, he made one of the clutchest plays in the game to keep his team in the lead. He also has a Heat Wave to use as Rise starting to push forward. Both teams starting to trade kills. It's going to be 2v2. You're the Faze flag. Zuma comes behind 1. Easy clean up there on the Slack. Octane now coming around the back. Heat Wave gets popped by Zuma. Should secure him the kill here just to be safe.
See, this is exactly how Faze play it. Look, they get a couple kills in their base, and now they send 1 on the overextension. You might as well, right? Yeah. He's just going to create a ton of kind of havoc type stuff in the opposing team's base. Attach staying alive, forces the player off spawn instead of overextending to get cuts. Has to rotate back to his flag. Attach does lose that engagement, but look, Clayster kills the 2 Rise players in their base. Faze hold off another minute of gameplay off of just playing full base defense.
Yeah, Faze have wasted so much time off the clock now. 1:15 remaining, and Rise, they put together some pretty good pushes. They're now going to have a Psychosis to play with here. Slack pretty close to his kinetic armor as well. There's going to be tools that Rise are going to have to use if they want to get this flag out.
This actually is a lot of opportunity for Rise Nation to pull this flag.
There we go.
One gunfight in the back of the base is going to be huge. It's attached in a one-on-one. Tosses a Semtex behind.
Oh.
Did not expect Octane to slide right in. Enable charges out of Dub. This is still possible to get a stop, but Looney needs to move quick. He gets behind the oranges. He knows, hey, do the YY slide, a little bit of extra movement. There it is. As they're going to tie the game 2-2 with just 40 seconds remaining. Faze looking for a potential counter cap. They get the first out of worry. Might not have needed to do it, but hey, he'll get a guaranteed engagement win. As Clayster is
Over it.
Oh, it's definitely going to overtime. So let's quickly look back at that Rise Nation push. They had Looney, who flooded out of Dark. They were not expecting Looney to be in Dark. Obviously attached all the way in the opposing team's base. Slack picks the player off the back rocks in an awkward engagement where he had a submachine gun, which gave them the opportunity to run that flag through Barn. Obviously enable pushing out of Dub. Maybe you would have liked to have seen him get that first kill and immediately run L-Wall, but there was a player on Rise Nation already pre-aiming that. Enable probably thought that far forward. In the end, though, the cap does go in, and we'll be at 2-2 going into OT.
And CTF is a game about making those correct small decisions.
Yep.
One missed rotation. One, gunfight you fight from maybe unfavorable position can cost your team, that flag and allow the other team to get map control. Now, one thing might be working in favor of Faze here is, they have great progression towards some of their specialists, right? You look at Looney, of course he has his heat wave, but not going to get your connect armor anytime soon from Slack. You might get the sight like a minute 30 for Octane.
Yeah.
So Faze are going to be able to rely on those specialists if they could hold on for that long.
Well, let's not speak too soon, as Rise Nation have already pushed up. They've gotten 4 down on the side of Faze. Zuma off the respawn, does get there in time. Uses the heat wave as well. Slack staying alive. Just going to try to buy time for his team to come off spawn, re-get control of their base. Playing from behind the blue pickup truck. Trades the kill effectively with Enable. And now Faze hold off their base from that first Rise Nation push.
Zuma spots one over near the middle truck, so he's forced to reposition, fight somewhere else. Does spot this player near middle shacks with the VMP. He can challenge this, but somebody's pushing out over near the back of the track.
He just got juked.
Octane.
He just got juked so badly. The player peeked into little. He had no idea that Classic kind of moved in that manner. Someone's still playing mid-white truck. It's going to be Clayster, which should work out for Faze. They're definitely going to hold this push with the 3 AR setup they have at the moment.
And they could always fall back on his Tempest, right, to get some clutch defensive kills, assuming he connects with them. Something that makes it a little bit easier to get those kills. Psychosis about to be earned by Enable. He's got some important kills to make right here. Finds one. Can he get the second? Fighting Octane here. Swaps to the L car. No, we cannot pick up the kill. That's going to be 3 down momentarily for Faze.
Is it Tempest time?
Might be kinetic armor time.
Oh, kinetic armor popped by attach. He's getting pushed from so many different areas. It's the Scythe of Octane.
Oh, the grenade from attach is able to find 1 kill after that.
What was that, martyrdom?
Kills to make.
What just happened?
Yeah, I mean, well, he was holding that grenade with this kinetic armor, right? Then he dies. There's
Top
still
4 Remaster's not out yet.
a chance to get this out.
Flag now still being pulled. Octane's there with a 2-piece. Attach still trying to make a play happen. The Scythe of Octane gets everything done on that flag run. And you mentioned, right around the minute and a half areas where the Scythe would come into play. Well, guess what the Scythe does? Kills everyone on that flag run. Rise Nation just need to hold for about, what, 2 minutes? And they'll
That's
win
still good
themselves
time
a
to play
series.
with, though.
Yep. Definitely is.
The Rise looking really good there. A well-orchestrated push once again.
What tools do Faze have to... Oh, no.
They got...
No Tempest. No Heat Wave.
They have Psychosis.
No Kinetic. And
well, Psychosis could help.
It could help.
I'd rather have a kinetic armor.
I'd rather have
a Heat
anything.
Wave.
Wait, is that a Cerberus? Octane got a Cerberus.
Oh, Octane's fully streaked.
Oh, this... I mean, unless Rise Nation decide to just...
Look, they need to kill
unplug
Octane as they're beginning their push, right?
What was that?
And Looney's already pulled a flag. He's left his teammate Classic all alone on the defensive end.
The Cerberus is there trying to be a hero. The Cerberus gets 2. They do EMP it. They have Heat Wave to work with. Slack, the furthest pushed up. The flag runner still just trying to get away. Slack putting some shots down. They haven't picked them up as of yet.
He might use kinetic here on
He's
the
got
push
kinetic
forward.
armor as well.
Hellstorm comes in.
all the way into bottom part.
Hellstorm gets nothing.
Hellstorm doesn't do anything. Slack is still there with kinetic. Picks up one kill. Turns the corner. There's the second as well. Challenges the flag runner. Gets the kill. The slide, the return, the capture. Faze Clan take the series 3-1. Just kidding. Rise Nation take the series 3-1 over Faze Clan.
Man, Slack making big plays with the kinetic armor, and you know, I was saying I would rather like kinetic armor in that situation, and this is exactly why.
Yeah, it's kind of perfect how it wound up working.